What is up, you guys? I'm Taylor Westmoreland. Welcome to my channel. This is Short Big Videos. So, earlier tonight, somebody messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, have you seen Ryan Upchurch's new video? And I was like, no, why? And they're like, he's on the drugs. And I was like, what the hell? So then I decided to go over to Ryan's story and look at his story. And y'all, he posted so many comments from his YouTube video that were like, you're on the drugs. You need to get off them drugs. You need Jesus. You're on all the drugs. And I'm like, oh my God. What did this man say to make people be like this? Oh, Lord. So today we're going to be watching this video that he posted on his YouTube. Are we living in an unfinished idea? To kind of answer the question, is he on drugs, or is it that he has such a complex mind that the rest of us even struggle to keep up? Psychedelics would make a lot of sense with the way that he thinks, but what I think is really happening here is that I suffer from manic depression, and I kind of see that in Ryan. Whenever you have manic depression, it's not like normal depression. And this doesn't come from any kind of bad way or anything. It's just something that I see. And so, I'm just trying to make sense as to why he's able to kind of think outside the box. And, I love his deep dive videos where you really kind of get into his mind, because not a lot of people can do that. And people with manic depression are very capable and able to do that, and I'll explain why in a second. So whenever you have manic depression, whenever you're going through your depression, your lows, you are in a dark place. A lot of the times you'll just wake up one day and not want to be alive anymore, like you want to die. It's really hard to get things done. You struggle to, even just kind of interact with your day-to-day life. And a lot of the times it feels physical. Like, the best way that I've been able to describe it, and the way that I've heard other people describe it, is you just want it to end. You just want it to stop. It feels like this suffocating feeling, and it sucks really bad. The lows can be really, really low, and a lot of the times what happens is that people confuse the wanting it to stop and wanting it to end with wanting to unalive yourself. So that, it can get really, really bad, especially if you're not medicated. But on the plus side of that, once you're done with your once you're done with your depressive state, you come into this thing called mania or manic state, where you're extremely uppity. You are on your highs. You're it's probably the best feeling in the world. You feel invincible. You feel like nothing can touch you. You feel like you can get anything and everything done that you set your mind to. And because I have different priorities, I have a kid. Whenever I'm on my highs, I clean and I do my laundry, and I balance my checkbook, and I get everything in order. I'll organize my cabinets and do whatever I want to do. And I even write a lot. That's whenever I write in my poem book a lot. It's something that I've always loved doing. And whenever I'm experiencing that manic episode, I'll get really in my own thoughts and start writing and start coming up with silly poems about whatever it is I feel like. Even things that seem like they make absolute no sense at all make a lot of sense to me. And sometimes it could be because people with manic depression or even ADHD mixed with manic depression, because a lot of the times they are entwined together. People like that don't really sleep much when they're in their manic episodes, because they slept so much during their depression part. And so you could stay up for days at a time and go through a psychosis where you deep dive into yourself, and you're able to rethink your thoughts completely. And so it comes off as a little bit crazy or a little bit strange. And me, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I come up with some weird shit all the time. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is about. Let's go. And just to address this, what's going on in the background over here? I'm currently in my depressive state. Whenever I go through my depressive state, I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. I don't want to, there are times I feel like I want to die. And this happens where I just accumulate things and don't clean it the way that I'm supposed to. Normally, I get out of the funk enough, quickly enough to where I can just go through my manic stage and zoom through the house and clean it. And I have not done that yet. It's been almost 4 months going through my depressive state, and it's never lasted this long. And so I realized I'm getting out of control, but I have called Merry Maids, and they're going to come out next week and clean my house and organize everything while I'm at work, so they could just take care of that, and I can focus on the things that are really important. I've tried to do it myself, and I never want to finish the task. I just get more and more depressed every day, and I hate it. And so if I have to have somebody come out and clean the house for me while I'm at work, so I can take care of my kid and take care of things I need to take care of so I can get out of my depressive state, that's what's going to happen. All right, let's get into it. I'm sorry, y'all.
Psst, hey. This is me after you watch the video. I just moved it to the front of the video. So listen, before you watch that in a second, I just want to let you know, this video is kind of like one of those what the fuck videos. You'll see at the end. But anyway, keep watching.
Okay, so he gives us a warning. That's good.
All right, so my perspective on UFO and aliens and if they're real or not has changed. Pretty much, I don't think they're real. And it ain't because nothing crazy, it's a few simple things. But to me, them not being real is more interesting than them being real.
Okay. Already. That's a strong stance to take. Going from they're real to no, they're not. Interesting. Isn't that what a sane person would say, though? Why y'all asking if it's on drugs? Because you said they're not real. Never mind. I'm going to keep watching.
If that makes sense. Sorry, I don't know if that sounds stupid to y'all. I think they tell us aliens are real, so we'll worry about aliens being real. Aliens being real gives us a staple to space to worry about. And if you look at space and you're like, oh yeah, aliens might be out there, and you have something to wonder and trail off to, that actually makes your brain healthy. If there's absolutely nothing out there, and you find out, and if you knew nothing was out there, there's nothing to wonder about out there. That's not healthy for your brain.
Damn! Facts, though. Holy shit. Human beings are naturally like that, though. We have to wonder and we have to figure out what's out there. That's the whole reason that Christopher Columbus came to America, because he said, no, there's no way that the earth is flat. And everybody else was like, no, the earth is flat. So they just didn't even try. We're 1 minute and 12 seconds in. What the fuck? It sounds pretty sane to me. Why y'all saying he's
curious about the unknown is better than knowing the unknown doesn't exist. Think about it. If the whole world
really
knew there was nothing out there, everyone would panic. And I'm not saying aliens don't exist to make myself feel better or because I'm scared or to argue with anybody. I think aliens don't exist because I think the other thing that exists out there is way more insane and crazy and complex than aliens. I think where we're at and what life is more than words in a book. It's more than aliens. It actually makes aliens look like squirrels, running up in a tree. You know how I'm always saying people can speak stuff into...
Now I wonder what else could be out there. Because that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's just...
to existence, and it actually does happen. It's because it's an idea. Everything around you is created because it was once upon a time an idea, including us. Some people think aliens put us here. Do I think that? No. If aliens are real, then they're dumb as fuck. What the fuck you just say? You just say aliens is dumb. They flying through space and shit. He gonna get abducted. And the reason I say if aliens are real, they're dumb as fuck is because why do they always pop up by military bases? You mean to tell me that back in 1947 in Roswell, the alien was so smart he wrecked in an empty desert by a military base? Yo, that alien has the worst luck in the entire universe. So you mean to tell me this alien flies through space, dodging all this bullshit, knowing exactly where he's going, and he crashes in a flat desert? I don't think so. Plus, if aliens are real and they are what they are, and they're as smart as they are, and if space really does constantly expand and there's not even a size, it just keeps getting bigger. If
Hold
that's
on.
the case and aliens are where they're at, and we are where we're at, why
So,
are
like,
the
believe in
aliens'
manifest
vehicles so
then,
fucking
right?
small?
So,
Or
like,
what? That sound
the
funny to you?
concept
'Cause I'm
of
being dead ass
if you
serious.
believe it enough
Why are they so
and
small?
you say it
Seriously, think
enough
about
and
that.
you
If
think it
these
enough
released
that it
videos
will
of what
literally
we've seen
happen.
are
Because I've
actually
literally
UFOs,
had that shit happen.
then I believe where
It's kind
we're
of like
at
whenever
is a
you're
lot
thinking about
smaller
something,
than
like
we
whenever
think.
you think to yourself,
Which is why
man,
they
I really
always
want
tell
some
you and
pizza
try to
or some
convince
shit.
you that where
And
we're
then
at
you see a
is so
commercial
fucking
for
huge.
Pizza Hut and they have like
So
a really
fucking
good
huge,
deal.
It never stops growing.
No, I don't
That's
know.
how huge. And like we said before,
I'm trying to get on
everything
your
that
level,
exists
bro. I'm
around
just
you
not
was
there.
once upon a time an idea, including us. Don't you think it's weird the only two things you know of that can be ginormous and always grow and not have an actual size is your imagination and outer space? Do you realize how far away from space, yet so fucking close? We're actually in space, but far away from it at the same time. These two places are separated. Hell, they're separated in numerous ways. Gravity, radiation belt. I mean, you need fucking oxygen, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Your brain has to have oxygen to have an imagination. But if your brain has no oxygen, you die and have no imagination. So if you went from Earth to there, it would swap. You no longer have the forever expanding imagination, but you have forever expanding space. You can't have both at the same time. You know why? Because they're both ideas.
Bro.
Which to me would mean that we're living in a contained, unfinished idea. Which is why people are able to speak stuff into existence. Which is why people have deja vu.
Okay.
Which is why
I think
people
I
have
figured it out,
past life
Ryan,
memories,
okay?
Which is why people
I think I
be
figured
knowing
it out
some
why
crazy
people
shit when
said
they
that
go
you're
under
on drugs,
hypnosis and
okay?
start talking in a fucking different language. And whoever had the idea of
It's
this
because
stuff
you just
was
gave them
smart
some
enough to
whole,
separate
like
them.
some
But if you ask me,
cold hard
everything that is life
facts that make them feel
is a
so
unfinished idea on purpose.
insignificant.
Because a unfinished
You
idea
made them
still
feel
needs to be
so
finished.
small
In order to be finished,
compared
there needs to be
to
something
what
living
could be,
to make
what
it
our
be
purpose
finished
is,
eventually.
what, like,
If we were given a final product and everything was perfect, then there'd be no point in living in it. Wondering about the
Damn.
unknown gives you a purpose. If there's no
That's
unknown
like
to
some
be known,
hardcore
then you don't have a
shit.
purpose anymore. Therefore, you don't exist. You
Okay,
know,
so anyway, we're made up of electricity and
We
water.
put off
Let's go.
vibrations. Our brain has activity.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think we were invented as conductors. And I think the thought that you have of something being out there and not knowing the unknown keeps whatever created us alive. Because it also needs energy to live.
Like, it
You ever
feeds
think
off of
somebody
us.
and then text them and they're like, dude, I was just thinking about you.
Yes.
Because you made it happen. You ever get a new car and then while you're driving it, thinking about it, you start seeing a bunch of the same car and you're like, what the fuck?
Yes!
What
Oh
are you
my
thinking
god,
about?
what the fuck?
Do you know why the world's in such a shitty place right now?
Why?
Because everyone's watching the TV and they show everyone everything. When you have
Yes!
that big of a wave of negative and positive energy, you can play with the world how you want. And just to keep you wondering, look at that shiny disc in the sky. Oh yeah, we're going back to aliens. The same television that fucks with your emotions, which fucks with all of our emotions, which fucks with the world we live in.
Keeps
real
you
time.
preoccupied.
The same television will show you a shiny disc and be like, look everyone, a UFO. The Pentagon says it's a real UFO. I want you to do something. I want you to look out the window. What shape is that tree? You don't know what shape it is. It's not a shape, it's a tree. What shape is that bird? Oh, it's not a shape, it's a fucking bird. They don't have a shape. Look at everything that is made by man. 99.9% of things that are made by us have
Are in
Basic geometry.
shapes.
Square couch, square coffee table, square light, circle light, square picture frame. Hell, our
Cylinder.
phone has a circle camera and a square body. Circle with squares in it. Everything you look at outside that was not made by us is a genius design.
Dude, that makes sense. Every single thing that was not made by us has no geometry to it. It just is. It just literally is, as it will be. See, this is another thing about people with, like I said, I don't know if he really does, but whenever you're manic sometimes, you can jump and like into your own thoughts and rethink things. And that's why I love watching Ryan, especially these deep dive videos. They're freaking amazing. He makes you rethink shit. He makes you realize shit. Like, literally, I never noticed that before. How the fuck? That's why they created UFOs. That's why they keep us distracted so we don't notice shit like this. Everything we create has a shape to it. A normal geometry shape. But everything that's created through nature is what it is. We're all intertwined. We're all interconnected. What if our whole world is like a battery, like an energy source that just throws out shit into our universe? And maybe there are other beings out there, but maybe they're like, see, my theory is that aliens are like the angels and God or goddesses and gods. What if they created us and now feed off of our energy? No. I'm going to continue listening, okay? I'm not a deep diver like Ryan Upchurch. I'm a conspiracy theorist by all means, but I'm no deep diver. Let's listen.
And it's unperfect. So you know what that tells me? Whatever made us was a team effort. Because we are imperfect and perfect at the same time. Geometrically and ideally. I mean, look at our pupils. They're perfect circles. Irises, perfect circles. Eyeballs, circles. But thumbprints? No. Thumbprints are fucking different. Teeth, squares, pretty much. Our design is imperfect and perfect also. You don't live forever. You eventually die, so you're not perfect. If life is a recycling system, also, well, there's your circle. Circle of life. So as we live on this circle called Earth, if you start wondering about the non-existent shape of space, just throw a circle in it. Look at that UFO. Turn on the square thing in your room. You'll see it with your circle eyeball. See? You don't need no ideas. We'll just give you the ones you need. Now see, which one of those is easier to explain? Look, an alien! Or all the other shit? Exactly. What'd I tell you? Told you. You just watched a video of an idea I had.
Yeah, you
about
told me.
Which is us. Which is also you. And you're watching me thinking about us in your head about what you are. Sounds nuts, doesn't it? It does some shit. I'm actually eating nuts right now. Literally. Yo, did I just speak nuts into existence? Yep. Ha! Got him!
That was crazy. That was a roller coaster ride I was not ready for. Holy shit. Okay, guys. Final thoughts. Is Ryan Upchurch on drugs? Or is he just so complex that the rest of us can't keep up? I'm going to go with the complexity. You know, even if he did get some help from drugs to come up with that, I've always had a theory that maybe the government doesn't want us on drugs because of the things that we create. And if they control who creates what's created, they have the narrative. I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for drugs, do you think that Leonardo da Vinci would have come up with sketches of a helicopter back in the day? Do you think that like art would have been created the way it was? No, not really. I don't think so. So they put regulations on shit that help us see the world and help us progress. And I mean, we would have never evolved if it wasn't for that shit. So, but personally, I think that that's just Ryan Upchurch. I think that he just has this complex way of thinking that we only dream of having. So all of you that say that he needs Jesus, or say that he's on drugs, or say that he is crazy, I think that he just dropped a bunch of truth bombs that you don't realize right now are truth bombs, but maybe one day you will. And it made us feel a lot smaller than what we really are. Yeah. I totally missed my mouth. All right, well, that was a video well watched. I really enjoyed that. Why do I still have this on? There's no need for that. I'm not listening to anything. That was definitely well worth the watch. Thank you, Ryan, for that. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you get notifications every time I post, because I know that you don't want to miss none of this. And I said that really weird. I'm going to go back to... I need to take a bubble bath. Bye, y'all.